Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
It's the Tuesday podcast.
You are very good at starting the podcast recording while I'm over here doing something completely different. And I'm like, hang on, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like replying to people on Facebook over here, and then I hear podcast. It is your Tuesday podcast, the 22nd of October, and we end up down the rabbit hole of duct tape or gaffer tape.
Very exciting, actually.
Very exciting.
It's pretty fun.
Make sure you listen all the way to the end. I'm going to tease you right there. Make sure you listen to the end of the show because you're going to get the difference between gaffer tape and duct tape. If you've never known. It's
pretty cool, actually. Surprising. No, like it's not something, would I put it down as one of the greats in my life? Probably not. But is it interesting?
It might be interesting enough. Next time you're at a party or you're down
I'll ever use that.
At the pub with your mates, you might be able to go, you know what the difference between gaffer tape and duct tape? And they're all going to look at you weird and ask you not to come back to any parties anymore.
Well, I'm thinking of a mum's group. Is that something that comes out very regularly? Not as much as you think.
I reckon mums would love to know the difference between duct tape and gaffer tape.
Okay, mums, let us know. Is that something that's top of the list?
You're
talking about nappies, you're talking about all the important stuff of raising kids. Hey, by the way,
I have held a nappy together. I didn't get into this. It was in the back of my mind. There was once we had to one of the boys ripped the nappy off. Yes. You know, you had those dodgy Velcro things, and it was like a cheap nappy.
Or something.
Yeah, and it was a cheap one, and they pulled it off. It was gone. So I thought, what am I going to do? I'm out. We're out in a bit. I'm looking around in the car. What have I got there? A roll of duct tape.
Yep. Tape him up.
Tape it up. It was his new belt around him right there, and it wasn't coming off anytime soon. The only problem was when and again, this is why we didn't talk about it on the breakfast show. When I did have to change the nappy, and I won't get into having changing nappies, but it was very hard for me to get that nappy off.
Well, you need scissors for that, and then scissors near a baby.
Was it? I didn't have the scissors there. I didn't have any scissors.
How did you get it off then?
We just
you ripped it.
Yeah, we just we got it. It was a mess. Thank goodness for. This is a whole nother talk topic. Thank God for the invention of baby wipes. That's all I'm saying.
I do love baby wipes.
Yeah, baby wipes. Baby wipes save the day there with the duct tape. Keep on listening, of course. There's going to be that bonus clue. They're getting pretty obvious here. I think we're getting a lot warmer. It's going to go off any second now. The Bible story sound off. There's a clue coming, and listen up because I think it's going to be one that is going to get you a lot warmer.
Really?
Yeah. It's getting. I can see Gail from Warner is already on the case. Mike Flood, who's in the wind bin at the moment, he's getting very, very close.
Wow.
So they're on the hunt.
Well, there you go. You've been told. Listen out for the sound.
Rise and shine with Fel and DJ on Vision Christian Radio.
I think we need a bit of this, DJ.
Yes. Oh yes. Here he comes. The official newsman here, he's whirring down the steps. Under his arm, he's keeping his red manila folder with top secret information for us. He's in the studio with us. It's our beloved newsman, Tony Davenport. Tony, you've got some breaking stories.
I do. Good morning, Phil.
We thought you were going to launch right into it there. Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well.
Excellent.
And are you okay, DJ?
I'm so excited to hear. I love your stories, so I'm excited to hear what we've got.
All right, we've got something very serious.
Yes.
In England, they have decreed, or a judge has decided that standing silently near an abortion clinic or a hospital is a crime.
We've seen this.
A British Army veteran called Adam Smith Connor has been found guilty of this, and yet he said nothing, he did nothing, and he has been found guilty of breaking a local bylaw.
Well, he did do something. He thought differently to what the government wanted him to think.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he said the court has decided that certain thoughts, silent thoughts, can be illegal in the United Kingdom.
Wow.
That cannot be right. All I did was pray to God in the privacy of my own mind, and yet here I stand, a convicted criminal.
Wow.
I served 20 years in the Army Reserves, including a tour in Afghanistan, to protect the fundamental freedoms that this country is built upon. I continue that spirit of service as a healthcare professional and a church volunteer. He's a physiotherapist.
Wow.
And it troubles me greatly to see our freedoms eroded to the extent that thought crimes are being prosecuted in the UK.
Wow.
It's incredible,
Wow.
Tony. So for someone who hasn't read the story before, this gentleman was standing outside a clinic He wasn't
And
interrupting anyone.
not even
or-
immediately outside the
not
clinic.
even immediately.
How
he was
far away
standing.
was he?
He must have been within 150 metres of it, or
So
so.
quite
I think
away. So he wasn't interacting with people. He was
No,
just standing there
no,
silently.
No, and the only reason they knew about it
Yes.
is that he had emailed the council and said, I'm going to be doing this silent protest. So that, or he didn't even call it a protest, he called it a vigil. And so that they wouldn't arrest him for loitering or something
Okay.
like that. He wouldn't be considered a suspicious character.
Yeah.
But so they knew he was going to do it, so they pounced on him deliberately. Now, the maximum fine for doing what he did is $2,000. The local council spent $180,000
Really?
to prosecute him.
Wow.
And you know what? They didn't even fine him. The fine was suspended. And if he commits a similar offence again, he could be fined. But he wasn't. They went to all that trouble, and this is becoming quite an issue in the UK now. Like the oldest parliamentarian, who's called the father of the House of Commons, he says it's disgraceful that in Britain in 2024 someone can be put on trial for praying silently in his head.
Yeah, it's scary. And again, we're very quick over here to be shocked by it and point to the UK and say, look how they're slipping away. I've got to say, our laws, depending on what state you're in, they're probably even a little bit more draconian than what's going on in the UK.
Yes, they are. It's right across every jurisdiction. Every jurisdiction in Australia has these same exclusion laws, but they don't mention silent prayer, and they've never really been tested because most of the pro-lifers have decided to take alternative means of fighting their cause.
Yes.
And they're very active on social media here.
Yes.
Now, what's happened in Britain is that Scotland has already enforced nationwide exclusion zones, just like Australia has had for several years. And those zones, the people who live in those zones, the Scottish government has written to those people and said they have to be really careful about not offending people from within inside their homes. That is, praying loudly, or in their garden. If somebody in the hospital or clinic could hear them, they could be prosecuted.
It sounds a lot like Daniel, doesn't it? Back in the Bible days.
It totally is. We're heading back to those Babylonian days. It's pretty scary.
Right, we might take a little break, listen to some music. And Tony, can we come back with some more of you on the other side?
You sure can.
You sure can. If you want to read that story, make sure you head over to vision.org.au. But we're back with Tony Davenport.
Rise and shine.
Rise and shine.
And Tony, you got some more breaking news for us?
This isn't really breaking, but it's amazing.
I love it.
even
We're going to
better.
go to Vietnam,
Oh.
the very far north of Vietnam, and to a little village called Sin Soi Ho.
All right, easy for you to say.
I had to practice that. Which about 10 years ago, everyone in the village was a drug addict, an opium addict.
Wow.
And then the man who was elected the chairman of that village, even though he was an opium addict, he got a radio supplied by the Vietnamese government.
Okay.
And he loved listening to the radio. The only problem is this village leader, he couldn't speak a word of Vietnamese.
Okay.
So he tuned into a broadcast in his own language, which was Hmong. That's Hmong, Hmong language.
Right.
And it was from a Christian broadcaster.
Love it.
And he
Love
loved
it.
listening to the radio, and all he could hear every day was the gospel.
Praise God.
In his own language. And he loved listening to this to the station. And he got so excited, he converted all his family to it. And he said, Jesus could come back. You must give your life to Jesus.
Awesome.
Otherwise, you'll go to hell. And then they found a Bible. Now, a lot of the people there could not read, but obviously a few of them could, and they read it to all the village. And they felt convicted to give up their opium addiction.
Wow.
And set up other businesses. And they have now some of the most beautiful looking rice paddies, or rice terraces they
Yes,
would be.
yes.
Beautiful.
Wow.
And they grow orchids and they grow vegetables and they make a huge income.
Oh.
They are also in the top 10 tourist destinations in Southeast Asia.
Just by turning it around. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
And the thing is, they were basically illiterate.
Yeah.
And they have been supported by CBN, the Christian Broadcasting Network, which has a ministry in the village which teaches the kids school English
Oh, awesome.
and sports and drama and all that sort of stuff, and also the gospel. And the Vietnamese leader of that ministry said, they didn't start out with the idea of making this village famous. They started with the idea that they love the Lord and they want to glorify him.
Wow.
Praise
And that's an
God.
amazing story.
Oh, it's
It's an
fantastic.
amazing story.
Love this. We love the stories that you and the news team bring, and about current affairs, and like those stories, the ones that sort of slip under the radar. There's no mainstream media covering that amazing story coming out of Vietnam, but something we can praise God about. Well, Tony, we praise God for you. Thank you so much for covering these stories and coming down here.
Love doing it.
And now it's time for a little clue for the
Bible Story Sound Off.
We're still going. We're still looking for the winner for the Bible Story Sound Off. I'm glad it is continuing. And your clue today, I told you that it is in the Old Testament, the story. It's about a man from the tribe of Dan. It's in the first half of the Old Testament. Today I'm going to tell you it's somewhere in the first 10 books, narrowing it right down to the first 10 books of the Old Testament.
It's the best way to start your day. Rise and shine. With Fel and DJ on Vision.
A little while from now, we'll have AJ Spurs zooming on in with us, but I can see someone giving us a call here on 1800 316 316. We've got GT from Warrnambool. How can we help you, mate?
I was actually ringing. I got a scripture. All things work for the good of those that love God. And this morning's the first time I've been able to get you while I'm at work. I praise God for a bit of filament wire and duct tape. I was able to fix the radio with a bit of filament wire from a welding rig
Yes.
and some duct tape, and I'm able to listen to you.
Good old duct tape. It fixes
Praise
everything.
God
Can't
that he
duct tape
makes
do.
things that you can actually use them for the glory of God, and I actually get to listen to you while I'm at work now.
Oh,
Praise
fantastic.
God.
Fantastic.
No worries. But look, I just wanted to let you know that when you've got a MacGyver attitude, mate, you can do anything, and all it took was a piece of filament wire and a bit of duct tape
love
to reinvent an aerial, and mate, now I get to listen to you while I go out and slash grass today.
I love that.
All right.
Got me thinking, I wonder, can you MacGyver? Are you a duct tape sort of a person
Oh,
there?
duct tape is, I love that, GT. Duct tape is one of the most important things you got to carry around with you. You can fix so many things with duct tape. I reckon this might be something we can get into on the show. I'm trying to think right now, what's the craziest thing that I've fixed with duct tape? I'm going to have a think about it and come
Okay,
back.
right. Well,
All right.
look, everybody out there, that's
Yeah.
what we want to know.
Yes.
If you have ever MacGyvered up something with duct tape.
Let's go.
Let's hear. Maybe we'll ask AJ in a second.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's a, she's a mum.
She's a mum of two boys. She's definitely. Oh, she'd know the power of duct tape for sure.
Well, give us a call, 1-800-316-316. We want to know what you've MacGyvered with some duct tape.
Rise and shine with Fel and DJ on Vision.
I am very excited. We've got AJ Spur zooming in with us this morning. Now, AJ, we're talking a bit of gaffer tape this morning. You're a mum. You must have a gaffer tape story or two. Is it used a lot in your house?
This morning, actually.
Beautiful.
Very good
My
timing.
youngest, I caught him getting ready for school, and a friend had ripped his pocket
Oh, good
playing
friend. Good friend. Yeah,
footy
yeah.
on the oval. He didn't think to tell anyone. He's just got the tape out and thought, that'll do.
She'll be right, mate.
Man after my own heart. Man after my own heart. Did he use staples as well? That was another one for me, fixing pockets in school, was using staples and gaffer tape. No
Oh,
staples?
really?
Yeah.
Next level.
Yeah.
Wow. Stapling your clothes.
Stapling your clothes. I didn't want to bother mum with the sewing machine. I knew I was going to get in trouble as well. So just a staple every now and then. It's fine.
So was he happy with that, AJ, or did you take it up a notch and start sewing that for him?
I insisted, and there were words said, because he was adamant that was going to do the trick.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I brought out my sewing kit,
Oh,
and
bless.
while he was eating his breakfast, I did the sewing.
Lovely.
Not while he wasn't wearing it. I made him take it off first.
Yeah.
Sewed it
Smart.
on for him.
I have tried sewing clothes while they're on people, but it doesn't work as well.
No. It ends up in tears.
dear.
So how for everybody listening, how old is the little ones?
12. Well,
That's
my
right.
eldest is 14, youngest is 12.
Yeah, no, they're not
Okay.
that little. That's
Not that
getting
little
big.
anymore.
They're both taller than me now.
Oh, no.
It goes quick, doesn't it?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
goodness.
Well, we'll get into it. We'll get into it in a moment. But we didn't bring you to talk about gaffer tape and pockets and sewing. How is
no, that's
things?
very good.
I mean, that some great advice this morning. But what did you want to share with us?
Yeah, well, actually, is on the subject of how our boys, and I remember seeing a photo of you, DJ, with your family recently. I think you're at a wedding, and it's on the Rise and Shine Facebook page, and your wife is she looks like a little girl surrounded by giants because you and your boys are giants.
She's got like
And
bodyguards around her.
Yeah, she's well protected. Well protected.
Yes, and I feel that too. When I there's nothing I love more than standing at church during worship service, surrounded by my giants. I've got my boys on the other side and my hubby there, and it really is the best feeling. And listen to an interview about some marriage, and my advice I live by is feel safe. And he said, I'm not just talking about having, a strong man in the house to protect you from intruders, but do I make my wife feel safe? When I enter the room, does she feel tense and nervous, or does she feel safe? My safe person is here. And, God made men to be giants, to be our protectors, but also to provide safety for us in the sense of, controlling that enormous strength. And I've seen my husband on the football field. He can make people twice his size. He can make them crumble like sacks of potatoes on the football field. And it takes incredible restraint to then come home and to make the women in your life, and for my sons as well. I feel at home, I feel completely safe in their presence. And I watched, for some reason, my algorithm just filled up with all stories about the Titanic for a little while. There's a story about there's so many stories about what happened on the Titanic, but one of them was obviously there wasn't enough lifeboats, and so the priority was women and children were put into the lifeboats. And there's a story of a man who ensured his women and children were safe on the boats, then went and put on a tuxedo, and he said, I am going to die like a gentleman. And I think that's really the call of Ephesians 5 for men, is to lay down their lives like Jesus laid down his life. And Jesus was a gentleman, and he died like a gentleman. And I think what women don't realize a lot about men is that that is their great calling. That's the supernatural calling, is to be willing to lay down their lives for us. And isn't that just an incredible honor? And we should treat them with that honor as well, as the one who they've got a lot more skin in this game, because the calling on them is to literally lay down their lives for us.
Wow. AJ, I wonder if we can unpack that a little bit more.
Rise and shine.
We're speaking to the lovely AJ Spur. If you don't know AJ, you want to head over to seeinggod.au. That's the website.
Oh, very funky.
Seeing
You
God-
remembered it.
I remember. How could I forget the .au? It does my head in every time. Seeinggod.au is where you can read up all about AJ and get some great material there. But AJ, you're talking about something, and dare I say it, a little bit controversial these days, talking about the differences between men and women. People don't like to talk about the differences, but you're raising two young men. I've got three. Fell's got be blessed with both two ladies and one young man to raise. That question of how do you raise those young men in your life to understand what they've been called to do for the women in their life?
Yeah. And I think it is a supernatural birthright that they're born with. And I actually had a little while ago when my boys were little, my hubby was out and I opened the door outside and there was this giant water dragon, And as soon as I opened the door, it took off, it panicked and it jumped into our pool and landed in the deep end. And that's where it stayed. And I was like, what? And I did not want to get in the pool with that thing and rescue it. I actually walked across the road because I knew that there was my neighbour across the road had an 11-year-old son. Oh. And so I explained to her, this is what I'm going to ask him. She said, yeah, that's fine. And I walked up and I said, mate, I need a crocodile hunter. Yeah. And he didn't even he's like, I don't even need to know what the assignment is. I'm in.
I'm in. Yeah.
If it's anything to do with a crocodile.
Yes. Yeah.
So he walked up and I'm kind of explaining as we go, and it's like, I don't even care. You said crocodile, and I'm in. Yeah. And so he got in that pool and he rescued this giant water dragon from the deep end out and let it go, and off it ran. And I think he grew about 10 feet tall through that process. I think, but our boys are just, it's in their DNA to want to help, to want to rescue, and to want to do incredible things. And this is why a lot of us as mums raising boys, a lot of what we do, especially in those early years, is about just keeping them alive, for goodness sake. They just are doing the most crazy things, just testing the limits of their bodies in ways that, scare us as mums. But it's because that's a God-given anointing on their lives. And I just love seeing that brought to life in men. And whenever even just little things on the weekend at the kids' cricket, and it was my job to lock up the toilets at the school afterwards. And this lock, I could not get it to close. I wasn't strong enough. I was like, I put on the WhatsApp group, is anyone still here? I need help. And of course it was a dad that arrived, because he's like, I'm going to be strong enough to do this because I'm a man. and I feel like our culture has done a lot to really put men down and to make them feel ashamed and embarrassed about that supernatural role that's been gifted to them. And, and I've noticed that, when you want to look back on a culture and what's going on, it's the bards and the poets throughout history that really talk about what's going on in the culture. And I noticed, like, the songs from years ago when we were growing up, it was all about men, I would die for you, I would catch a grenade for you, and now it's this, when you look at what the songs that are coming out now are not about being a strong man looking after a woman and what I'm prepared to do for you. And there has been this culture shift. And I think it's because that's what's been dictated to men, that it's actually not okay for you to say, I'm here to protect you and be strong for you, and also be gentle for you. As I said, he's a giant, and I feel completely safe. And that is what truth is.
Just so beautiful.
Yeah, I love that point with the music and the culture there. So, okay, practical advice to wrap it up here, AJ. Yeah. Mums are listening, dads are listening right now. What little things can they do, or what things can they speak into, or what passages or books can they go to help their young men understand this role that's God given them?
Yeah, well, I obviously Ephesians 5 lays out for men that they are called to lay down their lives for their wives and their families, just as Jesus laid down for the church. And there's a great book by Maggie Dent called Mothering Our Boys, and it answered a lot of questions that I had about, the opposite sex and being a mother of boys, because it's very different to mothering girls. James Dobson, of course, he's got really good old school teaching on raising boys. Love his work as well. There are a lot of resources out there. And I think just chatting with other boy mums, because it is, and especially with those younger boys, I've spent my fair share of time in the emergency room. as they're discovering the incredible things that their bodies can do.
Amazing. It sounds like throwing a lizard in the pool from time to time.
Exactly.
Giving them adventure.
Find the big lizards out there, the snakes, the turtles, things like that. They all love animals. They all love animals.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
AJ, always a pleasure. Love your insight there. If you want to get in touch with AJ, like we've said, go to seeinggod.au. You can click away there and connect with the lovely AJ. AJ, great wisdom. I love it as usual. We'll see you in about a fortnight.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Great conversations, fun, inspiration and more. Rise and shine with Fel and DJ on Vision.
On the back of our good mate GT in Warrnambool giving us a call saying how he's jerry-rigged his aerial with some duct tape and some fuse wire that he's got there. He's been able to pick up the signal again.
He's MacGyvered it up.
He's totally MacGyvered it up.
Now, for kids who don't know what MacGyver is, because there might be, like my kids, I've had to explain MacGyver a few times too.
Oh, it just happens to be one of the greatest television shows ever made in the 80s and
look,
90s.
DJ and I don't agree with a lot, but I do agree.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
Yeah,
and you could put him in any situation.
With a piece of bubble gum, a paper clip, anything like that.
And he'd blow stuff up and get himself out and save the world.
Yeah, it became in the 90s, it became a term where, we're getting our word nerd on here, but the name of the show became like a verb. You MacGyvered yourself out of that. It was such a popular show. And so he's MacGyvered it with some duct tape. Got us thinking. And then AJ mentioning that her
son is doing it at a young age.
Her son, with his ripped pocket on his school pants, has, duct taped it together. Great job. So we're thinking, what have you done to fix? What's something crazy that you fixed with duct tape? We've got some great comments coming in line, but I can see we've got some phone calls here as well. 1-800-316-316. Give us a call and tell us your duct tape story.
Gail, have you got some ideas for us?
Yes. My husband used to make for our son when he was little, and get cartons together and cut them up and make like a fort for his little plastic soldiers, put it together with great duct tape and paint it battleship grey.
Wow.
That's cool.
And also for his little cars. He'd make them like maybe a 2-3-story car park with cardboard, put it together with duct tape, grey duct tape, and paint it battleship grey.
Oh, wow.
Man, that's fantastic. Why buy
we
toys?
Always say battleship, Dad's going to paint it battleship grey.
His
so the
favourite
whole
colour.
house is battleship grey.
Have any of these amazing dad built with gaffer tape and cardboard constructions? Have any of them survived the years?
Many, 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 many years. I think he even did Star Trek with some paper plates and some paper towel rolls.
And have you still got them?
No, I think Star Trek lasted quite a while, but my son's 38 now. So
okay, right. That would be remarkable.
I was hoping we could get a photo of some of this amazing handicraft there.
That's
but
that was good, yeah. But it had to be battleship grade and match the duct tape.
Yes, great, excellent. He's doing it.
Lucky
he's doing
he wasn't
the right
making
colour.
princess castles, really.
Yeah,
Not quite. So okay.
Thanks,
love
Gail.
it, Gail.
Bye. Andrew in Townsville, have you got gaffer tape ideas for us this morning?
Yeah, just a quick one. It works very well on long road trips for sore ears.
Wait, what are you doing with your ears and the gaffer tape?
You're not taping your ears.
No, you put it in your wife's lips on a long road and you don't get sore ears.
Andrew. Oh, no. I feel like I should veto this call.
I'm guessing, Andrew, that your wife's not with you in the car right now?
Exactly.
No, I would be beaten up by now.
That's right. I think you might have some gaffer tape as well. Oh, dear.
Oh, Andrew. We'll just put this out there. The views espoused by Andrew from Townsville are not the views of Rise and Shine or Vision.
Thanks, Andrew.
Have a good day, guys.
Oh, dear. Well, look, I think we're just going to have to I don't know if that's gone to air, but it's too late now. But I do think there's obviously some very useful uses of gaffer tape. My brother, for example, he's well known in the family for taping up car parts. So, he's had a little bit of a bing, and then you look at Simon, so I've just given his name off, and then you look at his car when he was younger, and there'd be gaffer tape there holding it all together.
You often see, someone with a broken window in the car, they've gaffer taped some plastic on there and things like that. Yeah, it does. It's pretty good.
Pretty impressive.
We've got some great comments coming in here, and a photograph on our Facebook group here. The lovely Ruth in Tasmania says our fridge has been holding together like this for 5 years. She's got a picture of her fridge, gaffer tape, doing a great job on the side. 2 tones, some grey, some black. Looking after the fridge there. Looks like it's doing the job well. So if you've got anything you have fixed with gaffer tape, something crazier the better. No, we don't want to hear from any more wife jokes or husband jokes with the gaffer tape. Thank you very much.
No.
Let's consider them all told right now.
Rise and Shine.
Gaffer tape this morning.
I'm sure the band Audio Adrenaline, like most bands, have most musicians that I know, they open up their case, whether they're drummers or guitarists or something like that, and there's at least 2 or 3 rolls of gaffer tape in there.
I mean, there's a saying in that industry, you actually have a gaffer, don't you?
Yes.
Like you have a professional person for the gaffer tape.
Yeah, well, and again, I think does it come from the film industry where the gaffers are the guys who have to make sure everything's out of the way?
No one's going to trip over a cord or something.
And you see them, they've got the belts and the gaffer tapes hanging on there with their clips and looking really cool, at least,
Do you think?
Well, guys would be looking at that.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't
sorry.
think any women are looking at that going, what a great look for summer gaffer tape hanging off you. But us men are going, gee,
he could do anything.
yeah, he's prepared for anything. We could give him anything, he'll do it there. So we're after your gaffer tape story. If there's something you've used gaffer tape,
Yes.
for to fix, or you've done something fun with it, let us know. 1-800 316 316.
I can see we've got Robert on the line. What do you use gaffer tape for, Robert?
Christmas present for my daughter.
Is gaffer tape?
Some gaffer tape.
Oh, yeah, she has this habit of wrapping up the Christmas presents in multiple layers of tapes, and so I used a full roll of gaff taping. That's so Christmas present for her.
I see. So it was like the impossible present.
Yeah.
Love
Wow.
it.
It was fun.
How long did it take you to get the present out?
Oh, I don't know, probably an hour. By the end of it, she just got a pair of scissors and cut it open. She had enough.
Yes.
I would have gone straight to the scissors.
Yeah,
Smart,
and what
smart
what
woman.
was inside the box wrapped in gaffer tape? Another roll of gaffer tape, or
Well, no. What we, the nesting dolls, Russian nesting
Yes.
dolls.
yes.
So there was actually like a jewellery box inside, and box slightly bigger. It's got to the point where it was the size of a shoebox, and then we gaff taped it up.
So what
I
was
like his style.
what was the actual present in the beginning of it? What was in the small box?
A pair of earrings.
Ah, very, very nice.
Love it, Robert.
Well, Christmas is coming up. We look forward to hearing what comes this year.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing is, hey, DJ,
Yeah.
did the gaff tape fix your shoulder, or did you have to do something else with that?
I did suggest it to the doctors, but they wanted to do some surgery. I don't
Oh,
know if they
how
use any
boring.
gaffer tape inside, but yeah.
Yeah. They needed to practice, for surgery.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
All right, God bless.
I am glad that doctors aren't using gaffer tape as
Well,
much.
it's funny because when I went in to get the dressing changed, I thought there was going to be stitches that they'd be pulling out, like going old school, like you pull out the thread of stitches and stuff. No, they just glue everything together now.
Wow.
So that's not far from
True.
gaffer
Well,
tape.
look, it's a step.
It's one step
Oh,
above.
I'm sure
you know.
that they would think it was better than gaffer tape.
That's
but-
that's a whole nother talk topic. What have you used super glue for? Let's not go down that way. But we are wanting your gaffer tape stories this morning.
Subscribe and listen to the Rise and Shine podcast in the free Vision app. It's easy and available everywhere.
It's nothing.
Like it's nothing, Mac Pal, and that's what you could say once you've got a roll of duct tape. Anything is possible by the sounds of it.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen things on the internet where you've got a photo of someone looking out their window of an aeroplane and seeing bits of duct tape on the wing.
Well, I think that's specialised duct tape or gaffer tape. I think that's I think that's
It's not regular household duct tape.
I don't think they're just using regular sticky tape out there to hold together the plane wings. But whether you call it duct tape or gaffer tape, the cloth tape that you can use that's very, very sticky. We're asking you, what's the craziest thing you fix with it? And we've got Kim from Port Augusta on the line. Mate, what have you used out there in the bush?
Accidentally hit an animal one day in my little Toyota.
What are we talking? What'd you hit?
Neighbour's dog, mate.
Oh,
no! Maybe we won't give that information.
I'm waiting for a kangaroo, a wallaby, and a echidna or something like that. No, the neighbour's dog. What happened?
Yeah, neighbour's dog, mate. Bush dogs, what they're like.
Yeah.
Anyway, put a big split in the front bumper bar, mate, in the hole. So we gaffer taped it up, but the gaffer tape kept peeling off out in the open road.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did, we had an additive to this gaffer tape, mate. Super glue and gaffer tape.
There we
So
go.
well,
Combination.
Now it's harder than the original. Nothing blows it off, mate. That's fine.
So you're starting a workshop now where that's what you do to fix cars.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
Good old bush, some bush car advice
Detailing.
there. Super glue and gaffer tape, the two of them together, nothing can bring it apart.
That's it, mate. Well, I couldn't staple it, buddy, like you said, so super glue was good.
You'd need some pretty serious staples. Maybe a nail gun would work in that situation. I don't know.
Never thought of that. I was going to try next time.
Kim, love it there. Okay, no worries. We're writing that down. Super glue and gaffer tape for your bumper bars. All good.
Well, good, mate. Thanks, guys. Bless you.
Colin in Bundaberg, what are you using duct tape for?
I see. My thought is, if you can't fix it with gaffer tape, you just haven't used enough.
That's very
Get
very
another
good.
roll.
Well, we've heard from Kim in the bush there that if it's not holding with gaffer tape, all you need to do is add some super glue to the gaffer tape, and then it's invincible. It's going to work no matter what.
Well, maybe, but I just think you need to use more gaffer tape. It's not worked already.
So there's no limit to how much gaffer tape you can use up.
There isn't. Oh, well, once you end up that roll, you just get another one.
Oh,
well, there you
well,
go.
it's not cheap. It's not cheap there, Colin. But
I think it is pretty cheap, isn't it? Duct tape's
no, not if you're using the good.
There's different levels of duct tape.
Yeah, if you in the industry, once you see that, the number 3 and the letter M there on the side, it's like cha-ching.
Right.
Yeah, it's
still, it's cheaper than the alternative, which is going to a professional.
Well, yeah. I mean, by the sounds of it, using, going to a mechanic or anything like that, a roll of duct tape's not too bad at all. Hey, we love these calls about your duct or gaffer tape. Keep them coming. 1-800-316-316. You can jump online to our Rise and Shine Facebook page or the Facebook group and let us know there as well. We might see if we can squeeze some Spin It or Pin It coming up in a little while here on Rise and Shine.
Rise and Shine.
We are loving duct tape this morning.
Yeah.
A very cool conversation started off by GT, who had been able to wire up his aerial so he could listen to Vision using duct tape.
Using duct tape. Some people call it gaffer tape. That cloth tape there. And we're looking for the craziest thing you've used to fix something there. I've got Michael from Mawullumbar on the line. Michael, what have you done with your duct tape?
Yeah, with the duct tape stories. I was using a hedger once, and I actually snipped the tip of my finger.
Oh, Youch!
And it was just being held on by a piece of skin, and I did not have a first aid kit at the time.
But you got some gaffer tape in the kit.
Tape?
I got some at first. I washed it up, and then I wrapped it in toilet paper, and then I got the duct tape and just wrapped it in toilet and in duct tape. And but it actually healed up with no infection, and it looks the same as all the others today, but it just has no feeling on the end.
Okay. So you didn't go to a doctor, Michael? You just were like, I think this is good.
No, I didn't. No, I just simply, I wrapped it all up. I washed it all up and cleaned it up and just put the toilet paper, duct tape, and I put a glove over it and worked until it healed.
Really?
That's
remarkable.
Michael, I think
that is a real man's man.
I think he did go to a doctor. The doctor was himself, Dr. Michael there, and using that scientific method of the duct tape there, kept out the germs and everything. Amazing.
Yeah. I now have a first aid kit.
Hey,
well, I'm impressed by that.
Once again, we have to say the views held by Michael and his Dr. Waits is not exactly the views. He's not a doctor. Don't try this at home. Exactly.
No, you don't try this at home. No.
No. He's a trained professional there, Michael. He's a stunt man.
Yeah, that's right. Professional at something else, not at doctoring. But I mean, there's some very inventive ways to use duct tape.
Yeah, people online. We can see people holding down whole caravan roofs on there. Yeah. People are saying that they're fixing their windows with it, cars with it. That's all happening on the Vision Rise and Shine page and group. You can go check out all of that. Hey, listen, we've got the news coming up, but you know what we can do after this Stephen Curtis Chapman song? Why don't we slip in a little bit of Spin It or Pin It, because we've got 2 exciting songs that we want you to vote on.
Across Australia, this is Rise and Shine with Fel and DJ on Vision.
Spin it or pin it. 2 new songs, but you can only vote for one. Vote for your favourite on Vision's Instagram or Facebook.
Well said, Lockie.
Well done. We've got, if you go to Rise and Shine Vision or the Vision Instagram account, you'll see the post right up there. 2 songs against each other. We've got Apollo Limited versus Stephen Stanley. Both of these songs have just been featured on V180, and I reckon both of them could be coming over here to Vision as well. But we want you to vote on it. So the first song up that we're going to have a listen to is by Apollo Limited, a duo. This is their song Breakthrough. Have a listen.
Hindsight 2020, always the path you laid before me. Live out my story, you get the glory. 'Cause I finally seen it now. It's like everything's coming into focus.
All right, Apollo Limited, that's your first choice
they're coming out of the side there. Very excited.
Yeah, there's some people online loving. Jane is saying she's loving Apollo a little bit more. She's loving that one there. Ruth is adding both of the songs to Spotify. Now, the other song that Apollo Limited is up against, I'd call that one a bit of a jovial sort of upbeat rock song, sort of like you're bopping along. Well, the other one's a bit more rocky, a bit more like powerful, I reckon. It's Stephen Stanley with his new song, Not By Sight. Let's have a listen to this.
Show me you're here to stay. My eyes searching for what is not seen. My mind wants to know what it all means. I've been looking for light. Baby, it's not by sight. Oh God.
Since I heard that song, since it came out a couple of weeks ago, I've had that chorus in my head ever since there from Stephen Stanley. Jenny's on the Vision Instagram account saying Not By Sight is my definite pick. She loves Stephen Stanley. So you've got to vote. You can do that on our social media. Let us know. Have a listen, have a read of the lyrics there, and let us know what song you're voting for Spin It or Pin It.
I've heard of all-day breakfast on the menu, but here's a brekkie show available 24/7. Thanks for streaming the Rise and Shine Daily Podcast.
We've been chatting today, thanks to GT, who gave us the topic. He'd been so excited that he was able to MacGyver up his aerial to listen to Vision as he was out this morning.
It takes all things to get Vision out there, including some tape.
Some powerful gaffer tape. And we've been loving hearing everyone's ideas about how they've used gaffer tape. But Josh, our Josh, Tasmania, he's up trees. He does all sorts of important jobs.
Yep.
He says, morning kids, FYI, duct tape and gaffer tape are different things. Not just semantics. I didn't know that.
All right.
So thank you, Josh.
I like this, Josh. I'm going to pull up the differences here. I've looked it up. I've looked up the differences.
Very scientific.
But while I do that, while I pull it up, why don't we have, we've got one more call on the line, and we've saved the best to last here. Kiwi Steve from the truck, gaffer tape, duct tape, what are you using it for?
A staple in the first aid box.
What are you fixing with yourself with gaffer tape?
Dislocated fingers, cuts, abrasions. So, yeah.
Band-Aids are for wimps.
This is really concerning
real
to me.
men's work.
I'm
is,
really
gaffer
concerned
tape.
about the number of people who are using gaffer tape or duct tape, whatever you want to call it, for first aid. It's terrible.
No, it's good. It's just so convenient. It just works.
It's there.
So, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So just keep using it.
Yeah, exactly. I love. We've somehow drifted into using duct or gaffer tape for medical issues. There.
It's not.
I know we had. The fantastic Michael there, basically attaching the end of his finger again with some gaffer tape. That's
amazing.
That's the type of thing that you're into.
Oh, anything's possible. If it works, it works. Like I said, if it's the best thing you've got on hand, you just run with it. So, it depends on the circumstances, obviously. If it's a big gaping gash, then I probably wouldn't recommend it because the chemicals might upset it a little bit. But, you work with what you got.
Exactly.
And I've got gaffer tape and that in my first aid kit. So.
Wow, I'd never even thought of putting gaffer tape in my first aid kit. It hasn't even come to mind.
It's snake bites too.
Wait. It's good for snake bites, did you just say?
Yes, you use it for compression.
Oh.
Because to slow the venom down, you use like a compression bandage. I mean, it's there if you've got, if you use a compression bandage, obviously it's heat better.
Yes.
But if you gaffer tape up tight enough and just keep an eye on the circulation, say he's doing an arm, you just got to keep an eye on the circulation of the fingers and that you haven't done it too tight. But there's options there for life-saving treatment.
Wow. Okay, there we go.
Once again, I feel like we need to say a
we
disclaimer.
need to say Kiwi Steve isn't a doctor. He doesn't play with one on TV. He's not
even a TV doctor.
No. He's
darling, I can see what you're doing. If you're out in the bush, you've got nothing on hand.
Yeah.
Right.
And use it as a tourniquet. I like it.
Thank you so much, Kiwi
I'm keeping
Steve.
that in mind, buddy.
You're welcome. Blessings all.
Well, I feel like the conversation might have gone beyond the area that we should be giving advice on.
Yeah, we've gone into medical things.
We please don't take any of it.
Do not take any medical advice from us or truck drivers out there.
Please.
Now the difference being, Josh and a few others said, now there is a difference. Now the easiest way to think of the difference, duct tape is the original. All right, that was invented in
it's
World
like a
War.
brand, or it's a
No, it's the original type of tape. So they're both cloth-backed tape. So they've got that material through them. They're very strong in their adhesive. But duct tape, believe it or not, was invented in World War II to fix metallic pipes quickly, water-based metallic pipes for different army things. That's why most of it is silver. If you think of that silver one, and you also think it's very sticky, it's going to leave a lot of residue when you peel it off. It's got that real gluey type of feel with it. That's duct tape, mostly used for waterproof areas, right?
Okay.
Gaffer tape.
Yes.
Think of the type of cloth tape. Sometimes a really good gaffer tape is, it's actually cloth the way that it feels. It's not shiny, but when you peel it off, it's very strong. But when you peel off, leaves no residue.
Oh, I do. I like that one. That's my favourite.
So there's two different sources,
so
two different things.
tape.
That's the gaffer tape. Duct tape is a little bit more for the waterproofing. There's we can get right into the minutiae of brand names and stuff like that.
I'm done now.
I think we're fine with that. I think
all
we'll keep it top level there. Either one, they're pretty strong, and we love the fact that you're using them for all different ways. And if you've got any more comments, you can do that over on the Facebook. Coming up in just a moment, we need a good curtain call.
There's one song left to play on Rise and Shine, and it's your choice. It's time for the curtain call.
That's right. The voiceover man was quite right. There's only one song to go in the show. You get to choose it. We've put the call out. Give us a call on 1-800-316-316.
Oh, look who's on the line. It's our good mate Franco from Adelaide. Hey, what can we play for you, bud?
Yeah, I have Zach Williams, a new song that he just brought out. I forgot the name again.
It's the brand new releases, Friend in High Places. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's it, mate. I've got friends in high places, and you have too, DJ.
I like what you did there, Franco.
It's a great song. I love this one. It's a real. He's gone for his country roots on this one.
Oh, absolutely, mate. And then, a good song, mate, it just saves you. I don't know. You just hear a good song and it just makes your day.
Beautiful.
True.
Well, let's play it out for our curtain call. This is going out to Franco. Well, let's say it's going from Franco to everyone around Australia. The brand new Zach Williams, Friend in High Places.
Hallelujah. God bless you.
I'm a simple man with dust on these cracked and calloused hands. I ain't rich enough to buy myself a chance. Just open up the door and let him in. If you need a friend.
Zach Williams, a Friend in High Places. That's your curtain call. Thank you, Franco, for recommending that one.
I like it. Franco's recommending it because he heard it on Friday when we played it on the Friday mixtape. So it's sort of what goes around, comes around there, comes back in there. Like that. Anyone who's into the the new country music sound, Zach Williams' new stuff, man, he's doing some good stuff.
Oh, wonderful. Well, look, it is time for us to hand over to the rest of the Vision crew for the day.
Yeah.
But we're looking at tomorrow, and I'm wondering, DJ, on the back of you've got some wedding things coming up. We've been talking to a lot of people who are calling about year 12s coming.
Yes.
They're in exam season, and it's got me thinking about milestones.
Yeah.
And as a family, what can we do to make sure that we don't let them just fly by,
I love
but we
it.
stop and actually celebrate those milestones together?
Celebrate the eras of the life, those different chapters, the turning of a page. I think it helps young people feel like, they're part of something bigger than themselves.
Yes.
And I love it as an adult as well, just sort of, capturing different things, sort of telling that story of your life. I love it. Milestones. All right, let's make that the theme for tomorrow's show.
Okay, well, that is on tomorrow. If you've got an early thought, you can get in touch by text on 0447 488 316. But that's all from us today.
Yeah, we also want your spin it or pin it votes. So if you haven't had a listen to the songs, you can do that over at Rise and Shine Vision on Facebook. Just do a search and you'll find us there. But we shall see you tomorrow with some milestones in our pockets.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.